You?
No, I didn't know. So after the fight had happened, we in the locker room. I think I had just finished changing up. We on the way to the post presser or whatever. My father said, "You know, he tried to bite you in there." I said, "What?" I'm like, "It's no like if you in the ring with somebody, you're gonna notice that."
But wow, my eyes was burning, and you know, like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I ain't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that, or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know.
Lamont Roach and GervontaDavis are now having their rematch. Before this, they met in person and had a tense exchange. They came together to discuss the details of their fight and also spoke to the press. Both took turns answering questions from an interviewer.
Whoa! That's when he tried biting me. I ain't even noticed that till somebody said something. Somebody said he tried to bite me. I ain't know.
Why not? What you talking about? They like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, that's how boxing.
That turned out to be a big risk, as GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach kept arguing non-stop. They didn't get into a fight, but the trash talk was intense. Lamont Roach kept saying he was different from other fighters, so Gervonta shouldn't be so confident about beating him. Meanwhile, Gervonta insisted that his last fight was just a bad day and that in their rematch, he would knock Lamont out. In response, Lamont fired back, saying, "It's going to be a firefight. I'll break you."
Talking about it.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Of course, another comparison I don't want to make to Mike Tyson, but
Now that's crazy. That's what he do. He get dirty. He know that.
Since the fight ended, Roach has appeared on the Big Time podcast several times to talk about it. He keeps saying he should have won instead of the fight ending in a majority draw. This has helped keep the discussion about a rematch going. Roach has also been active on social media, and on March 18th, he posted something that upset Tank's fans, most likely on purpose.
I didn't know. So after the fight had happened, we in the locker room. I think I had just finished changing up. We on the way to the post presser or whatever. My father said, "You know, he tried to bite you in there." I said, "What?" I'm like, it's no like if you in the ring with somebody, you're gonna know.
Roach wrote on X, on some real stuff. "Why are some of you mad just because a lot of people think I won the fight? I'm confused, gang. What's going on? Did I do something to you guys?" His post got over 21,500 views and 425 comments in less than 2 days. It looks like a classic move to stir up Tank's fan base and build hype for a rematch, given how much engagement the post received, especially from Davis's fans. It seems to have worked. Speaking on the Come and Talk to Me podcast, Roach shared that he tried to call Tank after the fight because of a bet they had reportedly made before.
So Lamont, I watched your feedback. You broke it down round by round. There was this one part in this video that was kind of going viral the other day where you said it looked like Tank was trying to bite you. Yeah. I'm like, what was that? Like, did you notice that in the moment? I saw you said that in your, in your feedback. What was that?
Said, "Look, man, I'm going to tell you. I called his phone. He must have changed his number or something because I didn't get a response. Maybe he's just doing his thing right now. I called him. Then I DM'd him and told him, 'I called you. Call me back.' I didn't even bring up the money. I just wanted him to call me back." GervontaDavis managed to keep his WBA lightweight title by the slimmest margin on Saturday night, ending in a majority draw against Lamont Roach Jr. The fight was intense, going all 12 rounds with action from both sides. However, a controversial moment in the 9th round nearly cost Davis his undefeated record.
Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinsky scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of GervontaDavis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
Roach said, "If that was a knockdown, I would have won the fight." He says grease got in his eye, But if you take a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown. It is what it is. I'm not relying on that moment to win. I just thought I did enough to get the victory. Roach was given special permission to keep his WBA title at 130 lbs, while fighting Davis at 135 lbs. He came close to becoming a two-division world champion, but fell just short against Davis, who was a heavy 20-1 favorite. During the 9th round, Davis took a knee, which sparked debate over whether it should have been ruled a knockdown. After the fight, Davis said, "I think I won the last 3 rounds for sure. I was landing clean shots and felt like I was breaking him down. But he kept coming, so I stayed cautious."
Like, cause we right there. But when I actually went back and looked at the fight, I was like, this motherfucker really did try to bite me. Like, at least that's what it looked like. You can ask him, or you can, if you play the clip and you look at it, it definitely looked like he just tried to bite me and missed or some shit. Like, oh,
At the start, Roach showed no fear of the heavily favored champion. The 29-year-old from Washington, D.C., stayed calm, using his movement and counterpunching to keep Davis from finding his rhythm. Davis, known for starting slow, spent the first few rounds studying Roach, but his patience almost looked like inactivity. Roach took advantage, landing sharp right hands and winning most of the early exchanges. Their history as former amateur rivals seemed to help Roach, who looked more confident and in control, even as Davis started applying pressure in the middle rounds. A powerful right hand in the 6th round signaled Davis's comeback, but Roach took it well and stood firm. In the 7th, Roach rocked Davis with a straight right.
well, that was crazy. So when he told me that, I was like, nah, he ain't trying to bite me out, tripping. But when I looked at it, I was like, damn, they tried. And then even
trying to bite you where? Pause.
On his neck.
like
You seen
my
it?
neck,
Yeah.
like ear.
I didn't notice. I seen him hit you with a shoulder one time.
He tried to put his glove up.
In the 8th round, Roach landed a huge counter right uppercut that briefly wobbled Davis, proving he could take the champ's best shots and fire back. Then came the 9th round, where controversy struck. After taking a left hand from Roach that didn't seem too powerful, Davis unexpectedly took a knee. Whether it was due to fatigue, a misplaced mouthpiece, or something else, it should have been ruled a knockdown. Instead, referee Willis only gave Davis a warning, allowing him to recover. Frustrated, Davis came out swinging, throwing heavy punches, but Roach took them and kept moving forward. As the fight neared the final rounds, Davis became wild, with his punches lunging forward while Roach skillfully countered. In the 11th, Roach landed a sharp counter right, clearly winning the round as Davis looked visibly frustrated. With just 3 minutes left, Davis, known for his late...
Yeah, like...
Oh, niggas wild.
Nah, it was crazy.
Oh, niggas.
It was crazy.
Did you see that, Naj, too? You seen that?
Yeah, I didn't see it in the moment, but when I looked at the replay, I'm like, damn, this vampire in Brooklyn right now. It's a little suspect.
I think the commentator said something about that.
Yeah, they said something about it too. They was like, here's another comparison that Mike Tyson.
Both fighters called for a rematch right after the fight. "I want to run it back for sure," Roach said. According to CompuBox stats, he landed 112 out of 400 punches, 28%, while Davis landed 103 out of 279, 36.9%. "I'll be back on the big stage again where I belong." Davis, however, felt his own performance made the fight closer than it should have been. "To be honest, I made it competitive," Davis said. "For sure, Lamont is a great fighter. He's got skills and punching power. It was a learning experience. Shout out to Lamont Roach and his team. Hopefully..."
You know, that's how boxing works. I'm not, like, totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper. But, shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna...
Rematch between Davis and Roach is expected to happen soon, with an official announcement likely in the coming weeks. Reports suggest the fight could take place in May or June. And while the New York State Athletic Commission has upheld the result of their first fight, which ended in a majority draw, According to a ruling obtained by ESPN, Roach's protest over the controversial ninth-round incident was denied. The commission stated that since the fight continued for more than 3 full rounds after the referee's decision, both fighters had time to adjust, meaning the referee's call did not directly determine the outcome.
I heard that 114. I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with. So, yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's okay. We gonna run it back. It's okay.
Davis, one of boxing's biggest stars, took a knee in the 9th round after a series of punches from Roach. Referee Steve Willis began counting but stopped at 3 and did not rule it a knockdown. According to the commission's ruling, after reviewing the footage, the correct call would have been to declare a knockdown since Davis's knee touched the canvas. However, they also stated that the decision was ultimately up to the referee. The ruling further noted that if a knockdown had been called, there was no way to know if the final 3...
Part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own, you know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But 2 is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that.
The commission stated that trying to change the outcome retroactively would be inappropriate, and that setting such a precedent wouldn't be in the best interest of boxing. If Willis had ruled it a knockdown, Roach would have won by decision. Instead, he had to settle for a draw in his attempt to become a 2-division champion, which would have been a major upset. Davis had been a heavy favorite at $20,000, according to ESPN Bet. Roach and his team remain disappointed by the ruling and the commission's lack of action, but appreciate the support from the boxing community. Lamont is confident that a rematch...
But you say you don't think he willing, though.
Whatever, see, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your...
After the fight, Davis, who is from Baltimore, explained that he took a knee because grease from a hair treatment on Thursday burned his eyes. During the round, his corner was allowed to wipe his eyes with a towel, something that is usually not permitted, as only the referee has the authority to stop the action. Davis is known for his high boxing IQ, often studying his opponents in the early rounds before making adjustments. However, against Roach, he never seemed to find his rhythm. Roach gained plenty of support after the fight, including from Shakur Stevenson, Davis's rival and Roach's friend, who praised his performance and even offered to fight him next. While that matchup makes sense, a Davis versus Roach rematch is...
But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on, ref. You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Roach, a former amateur rival of Davis, became the main story. After handing Tank his first career blemish in their controversial majority draw at Barclays Center. Davis had been a 1,600 betting favorite, making the result even more surprising. On Monday, the commission stated that it had requested a video replay of the fight, but a technical issue prevented it from being reviewed within the allotted time. Roach, 29, remains the WBA champion at 130 LEBs and is ranked number 6 at lightweight by ESPN. Meanwhile, Davis, 30, is ESPN's number...
You know something funny? When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win.
For GervontaDavis and his team, it was supposed to be just another routine fight. From the moment his matchup with Lamont Roach was announced, there was no sign of concern or worry from Davis's camp. Roach was a familiar opponent with a solid record, but despite holding a title, he was seen as the smaller man, making Davis the clear favorite going into the fight. Interview. Despite being a clear underdog, Roach fought like a man on a mission. From the start, he boxed beautifully from the outside. When Davis forced him to fight on the inside, Roach adjusted without hesitation. By the time the final bell rang, the crowd at Brooklyn's Barclays Center was left stunned. The fight had delivered 36 minutes of non-stop action, but no one was certain who would get the win. As the judges tallied the scores, Team Davis...
Shit or nothing like that. But like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that.
Right.
That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight
I don't like knockouts, like punishment, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes things got to happen to make you get back to where you belong at, you know what I'm saying? And that was a good, skillful ass.
To a split decision win for Lamont Roach. He was robbed. The knee hitting the canvas should be a knockdown. The face getting wiped should be a DQ. They didn't use replay, apparently. And we're going to talk to Keith Eidick about all this, but there is replay in New York. And a fight that was kind of viewed as an afterthought would now be a gigantic rematch and one of the biggest upsets of the past, 10, 15 years, 16-1 is gigantic.